Hello and welcome. I'm Christine with 24 Karat Healing. I am your spiritual medium, intuitive energy coach, and old soul healer. And this is your intuitive energy update for the week of October 21st to the 27th. And every week there's a theme or a word. And first thing that came in was love. And I mean, the Beatles sang it better than anybody else. All you need is love, or all we need is love, right? Um, Interesting that I brought up Beatles song. That just came in like right now. So all we need is love. Wow. If you listen to the Beatles songs, there are a lot of messages in them. Their music, their healing, they have a healing frequency actually in their music, just like Prince did. Love Prince, loved his message. The one song he had, Let's Go Crazy, is one of my favorite songs of his. The fact that he was flamboyant and he wore purple and he did guitar rips and he wore heels higher than I ever have or would, just told me that, he was awake. And at that time, I had no idea, what he was talking about. But now I do. Now I do. He was fully enveloped in his consciousness, and wanted to spread self-love and self-worth and awareness. But the Beatles, will go back to that. Jimi Hendrix as well. Healing frequencies in their songs. If you listen to today's music, there is no certain tone in the music. So that's why I don't listen to today's music. But if you do, hey, that's, I'm not going to judge. I'm just saying it does not resonate with me and my energy. So I always say, go with what resonates with you and what works for you, right? And not what other people are doing as well. So, all right. So, it's just a reminder that you are love, you are light, you are divine. Because last week, what were we talking about? Being free. So, there was that freedom aspect, knowing that you held the chains to your own suffering, if that makes sense, being stuck in loops, being stuck in karma, being stuck in the past, or being very fearful of the future. Those are all traits of the ego. And I work with the ego quite a bit. In fact, I struggle with ego. I get pulled, triggered. I'm working on healing all the time. And what, a lot of people don't realize is you were born perfectly. Somewhere along the way, as you grew up, you had labels and patterns, and your parents, whoever raised you, their own fears, their own stuff that gets placed on you. And then you start being told, no, you need to do it this way or that way. You don't fit into this box. You're a rebel. You're a black sheep. You don't follow the rules. You're too sensitive. You're a crybaby. You're weak. Whatever it was, right? It stays with you. And then it's like getting on, that train and never getting off. It's a loop, and you find things are repeating, then you need to go back and look at it. So don't I'm seeing this, a lot of people are, letting people dim their light. And they're not feeling that they're unconditional love. And yes, you are. And Buddha says, you will suffer if you forget who you are, number one. Number two, you go out looking for what you need to fill that illusion of void. Somewhere inside of you, you feel there's something missing. And then you realized it was false. So there's a lot of false stuff out there, false prophets, false idols. And it's a role of addiction as well. So do you ever find you want to be around certain people because they stimulate you? or things stimulate you or sedate you. And that's all about numbing and avoiding being in some type of trance, right? And, a lot of people, when they wake up, I know myself, it felt like, wow, I was in a dream. Does that, and then you wake up and you start noticing things. You're like, okay, whoa, what's going on here? And it's about illusion. So you got to shift from illusion to forgiveness. Forgiveness is the key to enlightenment, to consciousness, to love. Um, yeah, I mean, and if that involves crying, crying is a great release of grief, of trauma, of fear, of anxiety. It's a cleansing for the soul. So I invite, let's cry more, okay? I cry pretty much at the drop of a hat. I used to just get angry, be angry and frustrated all the time. Go towards the heart, the softer side. All right, forgiving others, forgiving yourself. Rise above breaking patterns. Someone is looking for you to shine your light. You're going to be a beacon of light for somebody. Okay, do not dim your light to please others. Ascend, rise, transmute, transform. Why suffer? Why suffer? You hold the key. I don't have it for you. I might inspire you to look for that within yourself. I can give you tons, card readings. I can give you Reiki healings. But the whole point of what I do is to help you start. So something needs to change. I want to help kickstart that change and be a guide for you. We all have the power within to heal ourselves, to heal our old wounds, traumas, hurts, patterns. And it starts with, a conversation with yourself and doing that deep inner work. And a lot of times it's dark, it's lonely. There's a lot of struggle. But it's all about letting go as well. When you do go through something, and if it comes back, something pops up again, it's not a failure or you're not doing anything wrong. That's your ego. So you need to just be kind to yourself, be loving, be gentle, be the best friend that you never had. Be unconditional love. I had a sermon this morning with Michael Murdad. It's online. It's out of Sedona, Arizona. Go and check him out. But he really amps up how a lot of us are feeling. And it's not about, cramming things down your throat. You must do things this way. You must believe this. No, it comes from a place of non-judgment. And he's actually very, very funny. And a lot of the stuff if you want to say he channels, yes, in a way he does. But it's great for, we're coming into 2020, which is number 4 for life path. So quickly talk about that. It's the Emperor, the Protector, home base is calling 2020. This is going to be a huge year. Mind, body, and soul all together. Eat better. Listen to your heart. Protect your space and be a leader. That's what 2020 is going to be about. Ascending Masters. Yeah, it just came in as well. Ascending Masters. Become the Ascending Master. And we're coming a new moon on the 27th as well. And I will be doing new moon readings, healings, and a new moon ritual. And if you're interested in that, please comment below new moon, and I will send you the link for that. It is limited to 10 people. I'd like to keep it very, a little more private and one-on-one. And there's going to be, you're going to get a one-on-one reading and healing with myself. So please comment below, and your investment is $22.22. All right, so there's less than 75 days until 2020. We are looking at Mercury retrograde on the October 31st, Halloween. And this week's energy is the heart chakra. And I've already decided on pulling from the self-care deck. I really felt self-care should always be in the forefront. So the card, just one card for this week, guys, is release. Look at that. The flower. She release. It's all about crying. Do you see the sunset in the background? Do you see the trees? This is all about releasing and letting go. This is this week's energy. So find more ways to release, to cry, to find the softer side. And grief and crying is a doorway to your deepest self. So find more ways to do that, okay? Let me know if this week's message resonates with you. Let me know if you have questions or maybe what your interpretation was of this weekly message. And yeah, I'm feeling instead of, just always pulling cards per se, it's more of a channeling. And I do tune into the collective, which I like to call our guides, our angels, and our loved ones. Because as my mentor would say, if you don't invite spirit to dinner, they won't show up. That's how it works. All right, I want to send you guys love, light, and blessings. And please remember, healing begins where the ego ends. Take care.